Hello and welcome to Juice with Justin. Soda water is the jam. In this episode, I'm going to talk about the warm-up. A warm-up is a thoughtful and contextual movement preparation, literally preparing your body for the task at hand. Warm-ups have three goals. 1, increase your heart rate, increase your body temperature. 2, prepare muscles and joints for the more complex task at hand. And 3, excite the nervous system, wake up the body so that we react quicker and we're not so sluggish, things of this nature. At PPC, the goal of our training is total body athletic training, strength training. So we're going to be doing things like hops, skips, jumps, sprints, lifting weights, trunk work, etc. A good warm-up at PPC would start from the ground up. We're going to cover all joints, ankle, knee, hip, trunk, shoulder, etc. And do a bunch of dynamic movements and compound movements that will prepare the body and joints for those tasks at hand. Here are some examples of what a warm-up is not. If you're going to do that same total body athletic performance strength training session, a warm-up is not running on the treadmill for 5 or 10 minutes. A warm-up is not static stretching for 5, 10, 15 minutes, like doing a hurdler stretch where we're sort of sitting upright with our legs long on the ground, bending over and getting that stretch in the back of the legs. We're not going to do something like that if the task at hand is explosive movements. If it's chest day, a warm-up is not getting under the barbell 20 kg or 45 pounds, pressing it 10 to 15 times, and then putting a couple plates on both sides and getting after it. That is not a warm-up. And last good example here, a warm-up is not the first game of when you play sports. For example, I play pickup basketball on the weekends. The first game of pickup basketball is not the warm-up. You should have already prepared to move, gone through a thoughtful and contextual warm-up, so that you're prepared to play once the game starts, not vice versa. I'm going to give you a couple examples here of why it would be a good idea to do a warm-up. Have you ever went right into a sport or an activity without a warm-up and then sprained an ankle or pulled a muscle? I have. Let's use an ankle sprain as an example. It is proven that if you do a good movement prep or warm-up that is contextual, that excites the nervous system, that prepares the muscles of the foot joint or the ankle joint, the knee joint, and the hip joint, injury risk will decrease if you perform a good warm-up. Here's another example. Have you ever gone into a sport or activity or a training session and you were sluggish beforehand? And you went into that session, you completed the session, and you didn't really feel all that great about it. You might have felt a little bit better throughout that session, but at the end of it, you're still kind of feeling a little bit sluggish. Well, a good and contextual warm-up would excite your nervous system. It would wake up the body and help you feel less sluggish and more prepared to do that task at hand. Last really good example. Are you a youth athlete? Let's say 13, 14, 15 years old or younger. Youth athletes play sports, and sports are repetitive by nature. And while sports are great and can help increase athleticism in some aspects, because they are repetitive by nature, you're not going to get a full spectrum of good movement quality. So let's say, for example, I'm playing soccer. Well, soccer is going to be more lower body dominant. I'm not really going to capture a lot of upper body movements. A good, well thought out movement prep with 10 or so movements where we're crawling, rolling, hopping, skipping, moving in multiple directions is youth athletic development and strength training for youth athletes. Handling your body weight in multiple positions and multiple ways is a good way that a youth athlete can increase their athleticism and give them a good foundation for progress training as they age. So in short, do your warm-ups. Think about them. Make them thoughtful and contextual. Make them specific to the task at hand. They're going to increase your movement quality and they're going to help you perform better. It's going to help you wake up your nervous system, and also it will decrease your chance of injury. Thanks for listening to this episode of Juice with Justin.